Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be filming the June new cozy mystery releases. These are all cozies that are coming out in June that I'm very excited about or that are big news for a lot of cozy readers. I have some beautiful little animated whiteboard synopses throughout this, so definitely stay tuned for those. Let's spice it up a little bit. Otherwise, let's hop into our first one. So our first one is from a series I personally adore, and it was also on my most anticipated cozy mystery release video for like the first 6 months of the year, which I'll link above because a couple of these are actually on that. And this one is called Murder Buys a One-Way Ticket. This is a Jane Austen mystery. It is book 20 in the series, written by Laura Levine, and it's coming out on June 25th, 2024. And I love this series because Jane Austen is a freelance writer. I'm also a freelance writer, so I love a writer as like our main character, just it's fun, but she is a hoot. This is like a very comedy heavy cozy mystery series. It's very, very lighthearted, very comedic. So essentially, Jane Austen and her snarky cat Prozac are set on a ghostwriting project that sends the Hollywood writer for hire on a luxury train trip with a strange company. I mean, what could be more exciting than a new gig with an exclusive train ride from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara? Turns out a whole lot. Jane must figure out how to tolerate her client, Chip Miller, aka Iron Man, a wealthy gym chain owner who Jane soon discovers is a tyrant and a bully with an ego as pumped as his pecs. Practically everyone on board seems to have it in for Chip. His dysfunctional family members, his staff, even his best buddy from the gym. So it's no shocker when he's found dead in his cabin. Unfortunately for Jane, she's the one who finds his body, leaving her DNA on the murder weapon and making her a prime suspect on the police investigation. So now she's going to be forced to save her own caboose. I love this. I'm so looking forward to this. I'm almost caught up in this series. I'm also really hoping the cruise line one in this was hilarious and her cat actually snuck on board, so I'm really hoping her cat's on board as well with the train. I would love that. Next we have a Bookish cozy. This is part of the Cozy Capers book group mystery. It's book 6 in the series, written by Maddie. The book is called Murder at the Rusty Anchor. And this is coming out on June 25th, 2024, and it's set in a picturesque Cape Cod town. Our main character in this series is a bake shop owner named Mackenzie, or Mac, and she and her book caper group are like kind of sleuths, the amateur sleuths of this series. So it's a rainy day in July, it's a weekend, which means Mac's bike shop is pretty much empty. You know, it's not the time of day that people are really there, but they are at the pub nearby. And it's very lively. However, one Monday morning when the chef opens up that like pub, they find a body, and the person that's found is actually an elderly school teacher who's like taught everybody in town. His name is Mr. Burns, and everyone knows him, everyone's been taught by him, and everyone is just puzzled that this man is found dead, unfortunately. And unfortunately, one of Mac's friends, the librarian Flo, gets put on the list of suspects, so her and the book caper group are determined to clear their friend's name and solve what really happened to the school teacher. And that is that for the synopsis. Really cute. I haven't read this series. Let me know if you have or which of these you're most excited for. I love your recommendations, but this one sounds really fun. Next we have one from a series that I've just gotten into and I love, and it's from the Cat in the Stacks mystery series. This is book 16 in the series, called Requiem for a Mouse, and it's by Miranda James. And this one is going to be coming out on June 25th, 2024 as well. And this series, I'm just about to start book 2. I loved book 1. It was a 5-star, like, couldn't believe how good it was, kind of a read for me. Our main character in this is Charlie, and he is a librarian, and his ever-intuitive feline friend Diesel, who's a Maine Coon, he's a very big cat that Charlie walks around town. They engage in a deadly game of cat and mouse in this. So Charlie and Helen's wedding is only a month away. They're preparing for the big day, and the last thing Charlie needs is a new mystery to solve. But then Tara Martin, a shy, strange woman who has recently started working part-time at Helen Louise's bistro and helping Charlie in the archive, enters the situation. She's not very friendly, and she has this angry outburst at the library that leaves Charlie baffled. And then she leaves a catered housewarming party Charlie's son Sean is throwing to celebrate his new home in the middle of her work shift abruptly. Before ducking out of the party, Tara looks terrified, and Charlie wonders if she's trying to escape notice or if she's hiding from someone. When Tara is viciously attacked and lands in the hospital, Charlie knows his instincts were correct and Tara was in trouble and someone was after her. With the help of his much-beloved cat Diesel, Charlie digs deeper and discovers shocking glimpses into Tara's past that he could never have predicted. Will they catch the villain before Charlie's own happily ever after with Helen Louise is ruined? I adore the covers for this series, and Diesel's got so much personality. He's easily up there and one of my favorite like cozy mystery pets so far, so I can't wait for this. Coming out on June 23rd, we have one from the Camper and Criminals Cozy Mystery Series. It's book 37 in the series, called Fireworks, Freedom, and Felonies by Tonya Kappes. I know this is a super popular series. I've been meaning to get to it. I cannot wait. I've heard nothing but good things about it. There is no current description. I'm filming this a little further out than I normally do. There's not a current description, but this series does take place like usually I think like in a motorhome place, and they have like a very cozy group, and it just sounds delightful, so I wanted to include it real quick in case you are a fan of the series. Coming out on June 11th, we have Trouble in Town, a Pearl Sands Beach Resort cozy mystery. It's book 4 in the series, written by Danielle Collins, and this looks so cute. So this one has a very unique animal. It's actually a mischievous monkey, as you can see here on the cover. And basically this resort in town is expanding, but not everyone's happy about that. And a local man unfortunately shows up dead, and so the plans to expand the resort are put on hold. And the question is, can Charlie, our sleuth, and his mischievous monkey solve this mystery and get things back on track? I've never heard of this series, let me know if you have, but I had to include it. How cute is this cover? Next we have one that takes place in Hawaii, which is perfect for this time of year in my opinion. I just think like Hawaii tropical settings, perfect for the summer. This one is called Homicide Honeymoon, an Aloha Lagoon mystery. It's book 22 in the series, written by B.A. Trimmer, and this is coming out on June 18th, 2024. As the wedding planner at the Aloha Lagoon Resort in Hawaii, Christy Piper has seen some strange parties, but bride Claire Jackson's wedding party may be the oddest yet. Between a man-hungry bridesmaid, an overbearing mother of the groom, and a feisty tween guest, Christy has her hands full. But when Claire's former fiancé is found dead, murdered by a luau serving fork, things go from strange to downright dangerous. To make matters worse, Claire is discovered next to the dead body, sobbing uncontrollably. Is it shock or guilt? The local homicide detective is sure Claire is to blame for the death. Luckily, he works on island time, which gives Christy the opportunity to prove her latest bride to be as innocent. With the help of her longtime office manager, her best friend Lilana, and her dreamy new boyfriend, photographer Jake Hunter, Christy takes it upon herself to wade through an entire wedding party full of suspects. Together, they'll solve the murder and save the wedding, or die trying. I love this. This is like the most springy, summery cozy ever. I mean, the aloha, like Hawaii setting, the wedding party, just everything about this. I love it. The cover is so cute. I really want to try this series out. Next, we have a paranormal cozy by Tara Lush. It's called Every Hex You Take, a Crescent Moon Mysteries. It's book 3 in the series with a psychic sleuth, and it's coming out on June 1st. So our main character in this is Amelia. As you can see on the cover, she's like a witchy psychic sleuth, and she's really excited because she's recently got admission to this Gen X witch coven, it sounds like, and she's very excited, but she's got to prove herself by solving the case of this like mystery from decades ago. So this woman disappeared decades ago in this town, Cypress Grove, and Amelia's got to use her powers to discover that. Well, it shouldn't be a big deal for someone who's psychic, right? You'd think not, until her mother shows up, and her mother doesn't know about her powers, nor does her charming boyfriend or love interest either. And her mother is also trying to interfere with her love thing. So there's a lot of distractions going on. She's falling deeper in love. She's in this budding relationship, but she doesn't know about like whether she can tell him about her psychic abilities. Her mother's there and getting involved. A lot of drama. So there's a lot of perplexing clues, a 90s era puzzle, and a lot of meddling from her mom. So she is trying to solve this crime in the past with her psychic abilities, all while keeping her mother at bay and trying to decide, is she really going to tell her loved ones and family about her abilities, or is it better for her to keep it to herself? So a very interesting cozy if you like a witchy paranormal setting. This one looks really good. So next we have one from one of my all-time favorite historical fiction mystery authors, and that is Patricia Meredith. It's called Slings and Sparrows, book 1 of the Goose and Penny mysteries, and it is coming out in June. I don't have an exact release date at this moment. This is described as Murder, She Wrote meets Golden Girls, and we have 2 sisters in it. We have Goose and Penny. They've retired to this acreage and this farm, and there's all these beautiful like animals. You have like peacocks, you have quail, you have ducks. There's all these beautiful birds especially, and they think they finally, you know, they're just gonna relax. This is gonna be great. This one does take place in the 1990s, so I don't know if that's technically considered historical. I was alive in the 90s, but you know, it's in the past. And the sisters, you know, their days are pretty typical for what you would expect for someone on a farm. There's lots of squawking, there's lots of chores, but one day they find a cockatiel dead. And not just dead, but murdered. And they wonder, did they let a fox into their cozy farm? So that is the general description for this. I'm very curious about this one. Can't wait to see what it's all about and just to dive into it more. I don't have an exact date for you at this moment. I'm not sure if I'll have a cover by the time this video is up. Hopefully I will, but either way, I hope you'll check it out. I've enjoyed her mysteries in the past. This next one has the most adorable cover. It's called Murder at a Boarding School, a 1920s cozy mystery. It's a Lady Felicity quick mystery, book 6 in the series, written by Rosie Hunt. And this is coming out on June 30th, 2024. So our main character in this is Lady Felicity Quick, and she teaches at a finishing school. And you know, she's doing classes in like beautiful handwriting, penmanship, letters, floral arrangements, lots of things you would associate with ladies in the 1920s. But underneath it all, she is a little more than she seems. She's actually a spy, and she's hunting down a Great War spy who betrayed the British government. And I guess, I don't know if they suspect they're at the school or something like that, but as Felicity is meddling around, a body is found and her students are in danger, and she's forced to really amp up her sleuthing, solve this mystery, this murder, and also keep a promise to a loved one that she made. I think the cover for this is stunning. Coming out on June 25th, we have one that you coffee lovers are gonna love. It's called a Latte Mayhem. This is by Tyora Moody, and it's a Joss Miller mystery, book 2 in the series. So Joss Miller is a 20-something barista. She works at Sugar Creek Cafe, a hip coffee house with deep ties to the local arts and music community. She's a budding artist herself, and she's also started to develop a side skill, the art of becoming an amateur sleuth. So after the success of her first true crime podcast series, barista Joss Miller returns with a new season of the Cold Justice podcast. She dives into the investigation of a local artist and activist, Rebecca Montgomery, who went missing 3 years ago. And as she's piecing together the puzzle, someone is determined to keep the truth buried. Now 6 months into dating Detective Andre Baez, Jose's determination to find the truth could jeopardize their relationship and her life. This series looks so cute. So it's only book 2 in the series, so plenty of time if you want to pick up book 1 and read them in order. I think the covers for the series are so cute. I love having like a part of the sleuth on the cover where it's like maybe they're turned away from like the camera, or they're like partly obscured like this. I love that style for cozy mysteries, and this is so cute. I need to read more coffee house cozies in my life too, so this one looked amazing. We have another paranormal one from the Murder, She Witches mystery series. This is book 7 in the series. It's called Until the Broom Bristle Breaks by McGee. And this is coming out on June 4th, 2024. So this has so many popular cozy mystery tropes in it. We have a lovely witchy main character. We have a cat familiar who apparently has more sass than a room full of witches. And the main character actually has like a bookstore. So we have Bookish, Paranormal, and Cat. I think those are like 3 of the most popular tropes right there. So our main character in this is Octavia, and she was really looking forward to this evening. She's actually dipping her toes back into the dating pool, and while she's out to like dinner or something with her date, her broomstick comes crashing through the roof with a handyman attached to it. But the handyman is no longer with us, he's deceased. And Octavia is just shocked, and obviously this throws a bit of a wrench into her night and her date. So she teams up with her friend Cassius, who is also like, I think he's like a wizard mechanic, and they have solved mysteries and cases in the past. She's also trying to get some insight from her cat familiar, but her cat's a little distracted by some magical mice, so we'll see how helpful the cat is. And the bristles in the broom continue to break, and the entire town's peace is falling apart with it. So Octavia really needs to amp things up and get to the bottom of this case. I love the covers for this. I think they're so cute. I love the cat in her arms. How beautiful. Next we have another bookish cozy. It's called A Lighthouse Library Mystery. This is book 11 in the series, written by Eva Gates, and it's called The Stranger in the Library. It's going to be published on June 4th, 2024. So this one takes place in North Carolina. Our librarian Lucy and the staff at the Bodie Island Lighthouse Library are inspired to create an educational display about art history. Their launch of the display is a huge success, but the morning after they discover that a reproduction of a famous painting has gone missing. But no one knows why someone would steal it because it has no value. The real priceless painting is under lock and key at the art show itself. Lucy gets an invite to the glitzy opening night for the real show when she notices a lot of tension among the show's organizers, which is unusual. Then the man scheduled to give the welcoming speech fails to arrive, and a partygoer is discovered drowned in a fish pond. Meanwhile, Louise Jane is totally captivated by Tom Riley, a handsome, charming art dealer lurking at the edges of the reception on both nights. He slipped away from the party early, and he cannot be located by the police. So Lucy is trying to figure out who this man is, and is he trying to break Louise Jane's heart? Something is afoot in this town, and it's up to Lucy and her friends to get to the bottom of it before it's not just paintings that are being framed. So that one looks really cute. I love the idea of a lighthouse library. How fun. Our next one is a historical fiction cozy. This one takes place at the Pyramids. It's called The Pyramid Murders, a page-turning cozy mystery novel. It's the Miss Clara Vale Mysteries, book 3 in the series, written by Fiona Veitch Smith, and it's coming out on June 13th, 2024. This is the 3rd installment in the series. So I don't have a specific description for this installment in the series, but the main premise for this is it takes place during the 1920s, and Miss Clara Vale is a woman ahead of her time. Instead of finding a wealthy husband like her mother was hoping, she actually throws herself into learning about chemistry and gets a degree in it, which is awesome. Amazing for her. And then her uncle actually dies and leaves her his private detective agency, and although it's frowned upon at the time, because it's the 1920s, unfortunately, she decides to take it up and become a detective herself. And this is the 3rd installment in it. I don't have a lot of details, but it does take place at the Pyramids, which I think is really fun. Love the cover for this. Next, we have a tourist trap mystery by Lynn Cahoon. This is coming out on June 4th, 2024. And it takes place in South Cove. It also takes place during June, which is tourist season, so perfect timing. So Jill Gardner is our main character, and her own wedding has been delayed, and she's really upset about it. She's finally getting her MBA, and though her wedding to police detective Greg is postponed a few months, she still has plenty to celebrate. She's got a girls' weekend in Santa Barbara, just a ticket away, but back in South Cove, someone else's big day has become a big problem. Antique dealer Josh Thomas and Mandy Jensen were planning a small private ceremony under an olive tree on the historic Jensen farm until Mandy went missing. Is this a case of a runaway bride or a guilty groom? Greg zeroes in on Josh but finds him so annoying that he quietly asks Jill's help in keeping his #1 suspect distracted. She knows that Josh is searching for something else besides his fiancée, a bank robber's buried gold bullion. And when the professor he'd been discussing it with turns up dead, she can't help but wonder if what looked like cold feet was actually cold-blooded murder. Love the cute dog on the cover, and this one is so perfect for this time of year with the wedding. It takes place during June. I mean, it's about as summery as it gets. Next, we have a Haunted Haven mystery. This is by Carol J. Perry. It's book 3 in the series, and it's called Haunting License. It's coming out on the 25th, and it takes place in Haven, Florida. So I love the premise for the series, so many amazing elements. Our main character is Maureen, and she's a Massachusetts transplant to Florida, and her golden retriever Finn run this inn with the many ghostly tenants there, and they've also helped with some mysteries in the past. Well, they find this old brochure from like maybe the previous owners at the inn, and they used to have like a fishing tournament, and Maureen's like, that's a great idea, let's do it. So she hosts one, but one man never makes it to the fishing tournament alive. While walking on the beach with Finn, Maureen comes across a mysterious man's body. He never made it to the tournament, and she calls the police in, and they recognize it as a man named Eddie, and they start to dive into it. Can Maureen, Finn, and her ghostly tenants help her solve this mystery? That's what we're going to find out. Oh, this one is from one of my favorite cozy mystery series for sentimental reasons, but it's also very well written and I love it. It's actually one of the first cozy mysteries I ever read, and this is the Cupcake Bakery mystery series. It's book 16 in the series, called Fondant Fumble. This is the series written by Jenn McKinlay, and it's coming out on June 4th. Our main characters in this are Angie and Mel, we kind of follow her perspective a little more, but they're best friends. They run Fairy Tale Cupcakes together. It takes place in Scottsdale, Arizona, so kind of a southwestern warm area for the cozy, kind of unique setting. I really like that. But in this one, there's professional football players, 2 of them, and they actually want to open a franchise from the Fairy Tale Cupcakes business. So they're spending the off season in Scottsdale working in Mel's bakery, learning about the business and how to bake show-stopping cupcakes. The popular athletes bring a huge boom of customers to the store as football fans flock to see their friends mixing batter and piping icing. Everyone's excited the athletes are pursuing their dreams of owning a bakery, except for those who think the players will ditch football for fondant and retire early from professional sports. The angry naysayers include the team owner and sports agent, along with some very vocal fans. when the owner of their team, the Arizona Scorpions, is found dead on the floor of their new bakery following an argument with one of the players, the pros become prime suspects. As the investigation heats up, Mel and the rest of the Cupcake Bakery crew must step up and prove their franchise owners are innocent before it's game over for the new bakers. So excited. I'm caught up on the series. It's really amazing. I've never had less than like a 4-star read in this series. I love it. And I think this football theme is really fun. All right, last but not least, we have Cornbread and Coffins, a culinary cozy mystery. This is the Alphabet Soup Mysteries. It's book 3 in the series, written by Erica J. Welton, and it's coming out on June 20th, 2024. So our main character in this is Chef Jessica. She's aspiring to open her own recipe one day, and she's actually asked to cater for a funeral, which isn't something she would normally say yes to. She's a little uncomfortable with the idea, but it's another source of income for her, and it could mean good word of mouth as well for her cooking skills. So she agrees, and the funeral goes well in terms, I mean, as well as a funeral can go. The food goes well, the catering goes well, and she goes to leave an invoice in the office manager's office, and she finds the assistant funeral director dead in there, and she is just perplexed. She keeps finding bodies. She's wondering if someone's trying to sabotage her business. There's a lot of suspicion thrown on her food because this person probably consumed some of her food during the event, and she is now gonna depend on her 2 best friends to help her get out of this. Alright guys, that is everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which of these 3 mysteries are you the most excited for. I'm going to leave my 3 down below as well, even though it's going to be hard to pick. If you like mysteries, I hope you'll hit subscribe. I do post new content about mysteries, everything from cozy mysteries to thrillers, anything with a mystery element on this channel, so I hope you'll join us. Thank you again for everything, and I hope you have an amazing start to your June. Bye!